is Devin Soni. He is the CEO of Matador Gold Technologies, who is building an interesting product that is combining gold with blockchain technology, and we'll be describing exactly how Matador does this. Welcome to the show, Devin.
Great, thank you for having me.
You are well positioned to comment on both the gold and crypto markets. As I said before, your product is a hybrid of both markets, so I'm very much looking forward to getting your thoughts on both markets. So let's start by talking about gold and your outlook on gold. As you know, this year, gold has not done very well, but as we've discussed offline, it is outperforming the other risk assets as we speak. Bitcoin, stocks, both underperformed gold, despite the fact that gold is relatively flat on the year. What's holding gold back, though, from really going up to its full potential, if you want to call it that? We have had higher inflation. We have had geopolitical risks surmounting. So what's next for gold?
Sure, absolutely. I think, one of the big challenges in this market where, no one knows what the Fed is going to be doing is people can become, a little paralyzed, right? Especially when you look at your portfolio and you see, numbers that you're not quite used to for the last couple of years. So I think there's just been a giant pause and a breath that people are taking. When you look at, inflation overall, you would certainly expect, gold to have a pretty significant run. But I think when you're looking at just an oversold market, a deleveraging market, even just kind of the flat gold prices that we've seen, excluding kind of the appreciation of dollar, actually is a pretty strong sentiment here. It's not, hasn't fallen. You look in, Canadian terms, gold is absolutely flat from, the beginning of the year. When you look at some of the actual kind of experts in the banks who see, gold at a, $2,000 or $2,400 level over the next year or so, I think that is, an absolute fantastic outcome. Because, I think most people are thinking, look, you look at Bitcoin, you look at Ethereum, you look at, Amazon stock. These are all things that I think people still expect to kind of have a little bit more downside. So even just a flat to, moderate up is still pretty strong in our view. And it's something, the number one rule as an investor is don't lose money. And I think, gold is probably one of the best places to be to not lose money over the next, 6 to 12 months.
And, we were talking about your prior work experience before Matador. You were an investment professional, having worked at firms such as Goldman Sachs. Tell me, Devin, in a risk-off environment such as this year, do people usually flock to gold as a safe haven? In the past, when you've worked at these financial institutions, what did Wall Street do whenever there was panic in the markets?
Well, I think, the panic can come from different places, and the panic here is coming from, true inflation and an uncertainty of what, the status quo is going to bring. And in these markets, I think people really do flock to gold. They flock to physical assets. Flocking to real estate is a lot trickier in this kind of interest rate environment. So, gold has been a place where, we've certainly seen a lot of, smart people kind of hide and hang out and wait for things to happen. We personally think that, gold is a combination of, a safe haven in today's terms, but also a place where you kind of want to continue to sock away a bit of wealth, on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. And that's certainly what we've seen continue to happen here as well.
If I were to make the counter argument, Devi, just to play devil's advocate here, that the U.S. dollar has been a stronger safe haven this year, given the strength of the DXY and how that's basically outperformed gold, would you agree or disagree with me?
No, I certainly agree with you that, in the short term, the DXY is up, roughly 15% a year for the year, the same rate that, gold is down. Yeah. I think that, other kind of governments and nations are going to sort of, face a counter to that. And I do think that, as, the kind of exports and imports balance changes, that we're going to see, gold and silver and other metals have a bit of a run here, especially relative to the dollar. So I think this is a short-term decision based on rising rates, but it's very stabilizing.